we are here to hear what the Supreme Court says because it affects all 9. As for us in Dome Kwabenya, we have just stated our facts very clearly and simply that there's an election. When the election happens, there's voting. When the voting happens, both parties are represented with the EC. Counting, both parties are represented. Collation, both parties should be represented. We are saying we are not represented. I think what is peculiar to Ablekuma North and Dome Kwabenya is simply because of the fact that thugs came in, snatched pink sheets, burnt pink sheets. And so I don't understand how some people in the NDC are pretending that they are not aware that these matters existed. In fact, the dispute now is what is acceptability of scanned copies. What are we going to do with those? Are we going to accept somebody else's copy? Are we going to do this or that? And that can only happen when all the parties have sat down. How can we have an election where me in Dome Kwabenya MPP, I go and sit alone with the EC, collate figures and come and announce I've won? I mean, honestly, President John Mahama, would you accept that? Will Eli Klim accept it if I and EC tomorrow we can just go and sit in one room and collate and give her the figures? And EC is saying that they have some figures. No problem. We want transparency. That is what CI 127 says. So if there is transparency, we are prepared to accept whatever the results are. We are Democrats. We are people who want to work with the rule of law. But you cannot go and sit in a room and go and collate figures when we're not there. We were told specifically by the director of elections in Dome Kwabenya, the boss of the returning officer who announced it, that because the place was unsafe, I'm sure you saw on TV, thugs, some getting on some people's backs or entering the place, going to create mayhem. And the EC suspended it and said all parties will meet at the region the next day. How can it be that when the EC official returns to take his papers, he's forced by the mob to collate?
At the last IPAC meeting, the EC says they cannot find some 3 pink sheets.
Yes.
Are you aware of that? And if that should be collated, do you feel it will still go in your favor?
In fact, not even just 3 pink sheets. As we stand now, we are aware that there are 11 pink sheets that have a problem. We hear that there are some duplicates that have been brought and so on. We don't have a problem. Just meet us. Let us sit down. Let us inspect the duplicates. And if we accept it, we accept it. It's not a problem. Because by the same token, the same NDC in Ablekuma North are saying that they won't accept scanned sheets. But as for Dome Kwabenya, even without us seeing them, we should accept them. No. We are saying that the right thing should be done. We should all meet, collate the figures. I am man enough if we have lost an election to clear it. And one of the funniest things that some people have been circulating, you know, in the year 2020, I had my primaries and I came out and said, if I've lost, better luck next time. I am that kind of Democrat. Once we know the conclusive result, we are fine. They went and circulated me with face mask, as you can see. That was in Corona 2020. That is not me conceding. Let us be fair. Let us play by the rules. CI 127 regulations 43 and others say that we must be present ourselves or with our representatives. Can't we just meet NDC, MPP, EC, collate? And with the 7, you know that the EC gave notice after the court case to the NDC. So where they chose not to come with notice, then that can be classified as non-attendance. We were informed that we were to go to region the next day. We were not given any notice, official or otherwise, that this practice was going on. So I don't understand what the issue is, but we hope that the EC will still meet all parties to clarify it. Any other declaration where they've not met the MPP to get our input, whether to verify or to dispute a pink sheet, will not be acceptable. As you know, just after the Mandamus order, we all met. We did 7.5 electoral areas out of 10. All of a sudden at 4 p.m. we were told it's late and we have to go home. And then they just closed their laptops and left. What is there to hide? What is it that we can't see? What is it that we can't verify?
What is your collated figures pointing at?
No, my brother, you don't work on this and say what is your collated figures, especially. Yes, but remember, as we said, some of the pink sheets have been burnt. some have been snatched. So my brother, what we need to do with the EC is that even the EC don't have all their pink sheets. NDC don't have all their pink sheets. For whatever reason, I don't know. So what we have to do is we sit down. These are the pink sheets that the EC has brought. We don't have a problem with that. We sit down, we say, where are the rest? EC, why do you have duplicates instead of pink sheets? Then we look at the matter. This is the crux of the issue. And we need not set a precedent where next year I can go beat up all the NDC people there, collate with EC, and announce. You think that will be right for democracy?
And we saw you interacting with some of the NDC lawyers. Is this something you'd wish?
Oh no, it's just a conversation as a friend.
Would you wish that they, you know, in that friendly spirit, withdraw the matter and then can judge or
No, we can't do that. When you have a client, in fact, when you have twin brothers and you have different clients, you deal with your clients differently. So it was just a chat that I was having with my brother. We've been friends from childhood, and we're just having a conversation. Thank you very much.
And that's Mike Okwe Jr., who is one of the candidates for Dome Kwabenya. And as you are aware, the court will be making a decision later today. And of course, we'll bring you all of the updates on the Joy News channel. I just want to give you a sense of what's happening here when you come to the Supreme Court, because we have the police service and, of course, a number of people filing in as we speak. We need to give you a sense of what's happening out there. I will give that to you shortly. But for those of you who are not aware of what the court is deciding on today, basically the NDC believes that re-collation per the CI 127, which is the regulation governing the elections, should be annulled because that is not catered for within the law. And they're going ahead to also raise a number of issues about the EC's rejection of the declaration of some candidates within the Dome Kwabenya area. And there's also some other 8 outstanding places which the Electoral Commission, after its decision, has declared some in favor of the New Patriotic Party, a reason for which the NDC is disagreeing. We'll also be getting to hear from some of the lawyers of the NDC who will be filing in shortly, but we've just heard from Mike Okwe Jr., who's pointing out to us that it's not about the dispute over the figures, except to say that the coalition ought to be done properly. The NPP argues that the coalition was stopped or stalled at some point at the Dome Kwabenya Collation Center because some allegedly NDC supporters did not allow the process to roll on. It's the reason for which the Electoral Commission held an IPAC meeting a couple of days ago. We're still not sure of what the final decision of the Electoral Commission will be, but what we know is that the court would also intervene today by making a pronouncement on whether or not the re-collation is legal or otherwise. We know that there's security provision. As of now, we've not seen any supporters mass up in groups here at the forecourts of the court. It will be next to impossible given the security arrangements here, but we're still keeping our eyes on what's happening and bringing you an update later on. Back to you guys in studio.